Hello everybody. This is Monty with Flowers by the Bunch. So today we are working on a mantelpiece for a very large fireplace at a wedding venue. And so, because the fireplace will be burning, we are going to use faux hydrangeas in this arrangement. So I have taken 5 of these design bowls and I have added fresh floral foam and we've taped it in. This is a full block of fresh floral foam that has been soaked. We've taped it into this container and I am doing 5 of these containers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to start out, I'm using both faux flowers, fresh greenery, faux greenery, and then fresh baby's breath. I'm going to start out with some faux greenery. I am not exactly sure what type of foliage this is, but it's really very pretty. It really looks fresh, and I'm going to start out with this. Now let me tell you, this piece is a rented piece. They're going to actually, they're going to use it for their wedding. I charge them for it, and then I will go back and pick it up. So I am able to repurpose all of this foliage and the faux hydrangeas. But the eucalyptus and the baby's breath is very likely not going to stay pretty for a long period of time. So it will be placed in the garbage most likely. But all of this foliage and the hydrangeas will be able to be repurposed. So I'm going to take this foliage and I'm just cutting it in smaller pieces. And I am tucking it right into this fresh floral foam. I'm not worried about covering the backside because nobody is going to touch it once it's placed. It is going to be placed, I will place it on the mantle, I will remove it from the mantle. So I'm really not worried about it being pretty on the backside, it just needs to be pretty on the front side. Now the reason I chose to use fresh floral foam is it's heavy enough to hold all of these blooms, and it will keep the baby's breath and the eucalyptus foliage pretty. And so I won't have to worry about that staying pretty throughout the wedding. And we've already made one of these mantelpieces already. And this is our second. So this venue has 2 very large oversized mantles, and so we put one together that has mixed florals, and then this one is going to be just hydrangeas and eucalyptus and baby's breath. But I'm just taking these artificial pieces of greenery and I'm just kind of cutting them to the size that I need them. Like I said, this is a very large piece, so it's okay to make my greenery big. Okay, so this greenery is in place. Next we're going to come in with our faux hydrangeas. So I want to show you, I took a hydrangea bush. It's hard to see, I think it's really bright. I'm going to take a hydrangea bush, I'm going to cut it up into the individual blooms, and then we're going to tuck it right over into this arrangement. Hey Owen, I think this is too bright. Okay, I think it's way bright. Or should I turn these away? I think that helped.
Is it still recording?
Come here and look. Yeah, it's still recording. Come here and look.
That probably will help.
That helped. Do you think? Or is it still way bright?
Also, the brightness is at 2+. which is the highest
Yeah,
we
pull
ever
me down.
do.
Pull me down. Thanks. That's so much
that
better.
better?
Thank
There,
you.
I think that's better.
Yeah, that's so much better. Okay, so I have added all of my foliage into, and really not all of the foliage, but I have added the artificial foliage into my pieces. Next, I'm going to come in with some faux white hydrangeas. So what I have done is I have already cut off all of my hydrangeas off the bushes, but I'm going to show you. So this hydrangea bush has 5 stems of hydrangea blooms. I'm just taking my snips and I am cutting those blooms off the bush. So they are individual stems of hydrangeas. Next, what I'm going to do is I am just going to pop these hydrangeas right into this arrangement. And I have a lot of blooms. Well, you got my sweater. But I am just going to pop these blooms right into this floral foam, just as if they were fresh blooms. Now, I personally love the idea of mixing faux blooms and fresh blooms. It does not bother me at all. Now, it may bother some people, but for me, I feel like when you can mix the two, you get the best of both worlds. Faux blooms are going to last a long time, whereas fresh blooms may not last quite as long. And when you're dealing with hydrangeas and you're dealing with heat, you're going to have issues with them staying fresh. Hydrangeas are just very water loving, and they get so thirsty and they easily can wilt, especially on a mantle if it's burned. You know, if they decide to light the fireplace, it's very likely that fresh hydrangeas would go down. They're just not going to last very long. So I have taken about 8 bushes of these hydrangeas, and I have just cut all of the blooms off, and I'm just tucking them right into this arrangement. Again, I am able to reuse these blooms because I have rented these arrangements to our bride. So I will go and pick these arrangements up on Sunday after the wedding. And we can repurpose all the artificial blooms. I believe I probably have too many hydrangeas for this arrangement. It's one of those things though, is there ever too many? Over the holiday season, I was doing just some research and watching other florists do floral designs and watching how other flower shops did things. And I ran across a wedding, I guess they're a wedding floral, but they do only faux flowers. And they rent them, and they ship them out all over the world, you know, all over the United States. And I thought, you know, what a great idea to be able to mix the two. I absolutely love fresh blooms. I am certainly not trying to deter anyone from using fresh flowers. But when you have a smaller budget, sometimes it's really nice to have this option to be able to have a beautiful arrangement for a mantle, but not have to pay the cost of fresh flowers. Now I'll have to add it up, but if I did this exact piece in all fresh blooms, it would be very expensive. And I'm not sure about other florists, but I want to be able to offer people with all types of budgets some type of flower arrangements. I want them to be pleased and happy with their wedding. And I think it's always important to maybe have some type of option that they can go with. And with this, I'm able to repurpose all of these blooms and all of this greenery and use it for another occasion. Okay, so all of my hydrangeas are in place, and it's already very pretty. But all of our hydrangeas are in place. Now when I get it to the venue, I can certainly adjust these blooms, so it's not a big deal at all. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add fresh baby's breath into my arrangements. So I have several bundles of fresh baby's breath. This bride is using baby's breath and roses throughout her wedding, and so we're going to add some fresh baby's breath into this arrangement. I'm going to just take some snips, and I am just going to cut this baby's breath in small pieces, and I am going to tuck it right into that fresh floral foam. Now this is where the fresh floral foam comes in handy, because it's going to keep my fresh product fresh, right? I have found that fresh floral foam is not terribly expensive. It's really very easy to work with, and so I like to use it better than I do hard styrofoam. So I'm just taking my snips and I'm cutting that baby's breath into small pieces, and I'm just tucking it right into this arrangement. So see those small pieces? So I'm just filling it up. I'm just going all the way through to add her baby's breath. I'm certainly going to take a little bit of extra baby's breath with me tomorrow. So if in case I missed a spot that needs a little bit, I can certainly just tuck a little bit more into my arrangement. The wonderful thing about baby's breath is it goes forever and ever and ever. It goes a long, long way. Now, another thing about baby's breath is it will dry. So if I wanted to leave these arrangements together, and if it dries pretty, well then I have a pretty product that dries and I didn't lose anything, right? If it doesn't dry pretty, we can just pull that out and throw it away. I think the baby's breath is very soft and pretty. And it's something that our bride really liked, and so I love that. We're able to make her happy. And I think it's only going to take one bundle of baby's breath. I don't think we're really going to need much more. And like I said, I will take an extra bundle or so with me tomorrow. to make sure we have plenty. All right, our next thing we're going to tuck into these arrangements is just a little bit of fresh eucalyptus. And that's just going to finish it off. Just give us a little bit of that fresh greenery that gives us a little bit of that gray green that's so pretty. All right, there's our whole bundle of baby's breath. Okay, next we're going to come in with a little bit of eucalyptus. So I have some pretty eucalyptus, and we are just going to tuck a few stems of dripping eucalyptus. And what this does, to me, in my personal opinion, the eucalyptus really, really brings the entire arrangement to life. The eucalyptus just makes it all look fresh and pretty and alive. And unless you touch these hydrangeas, you really have no idea that they are faux. So when working with artificial blooms, I always try to incorporate fresh foliage because I really think it makes such a huge difference in the way it looks. Now what I'll do in order to make sure I keep my arrangements in order, because they look really good this way. They look really good in this order. So to keep them in order, I'm going to come back with just a pick, and I'm going to put a number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that way I know where to place them on the mantle. They're going to go in the right order, and they'll look nice once you place them. You don't have to think about it. You know, and that makes your life a little easier if you don't have to think about where they need to go. And if I was doing this in fresh, I would do exactly the same thing. When you bump all these arrangements together, I would always mark what goes where, and it just makes the process a little easier. All right, guys, there we have it. There is our mantelpiece for our wedding tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here with me this afternoon. If you have any questions about how we put this together or how we do anything in wedding work, we are so happy to answer those questions for you. Just drop us a message down in the comments. And if you like this video and you like videos like this, be sure to subscribe to our channel. We do videos, gosh, 3-4 times a week. So guys, thank you so much for being here. We'll see you real soon.